Sonic 2 and Sonic CD, both meant to be sequels to the original Genesis classic, developed on the other sides of the world. Now, both games are amazing, but which is the better sequel? Here are our main points to compare, and let's begin. Our first point is the level design. Level design is a key aspect when it comes to a platformer. I mean, what's the point of a platformer if there are no platforms to jump on? Sonic CD takes inspiration from Sonic 1 with zones in similar fashion. The game tries to balance speed and platforming, with some stages being speed focused, like the literal Stardust Speedway or Palm Tree Panic. Although, with these two zones, I say that's where the whole speed gimmick ends, because everything else is just gimmick focused with occasional bursts of speed. I mean, one of the zones is literally called Collision Chaos. The level design can also be unfair, as some enemies are placed in specific spots where you don't expect them to be, and there are some unexpected bullshit spikes that come out of nowhere. And don't even get me started on Wacky Workbench and his ice and electrical stunts, which, by the way, you can't react to 90% of the time due to how much stuff is happening on the screen. I'm not saying that Sonic 2 doesn't have something like that, but Sonic 2 has an overall balanced level design, with the only zones that break that balance being Metropolis. But it is Metropolis, also Mystic Cave, but that's debatable. Sonic 2 also leans more into the speed aspect of Sonic, with stages that you can blast through in under a minute, but still retains some of that platforming from Sonic 1 and Oil Ocean, Mystic Cave, and Hilltop. Sonic 2 also has less random bullshit being thrown at you each second, unlike the previously mentioned Collision Chaos or Wacky Workbench. This point goes to Sonic 2. Next up is the gameplay. Sonic 2 has a more fast-paced and speedy-focused gameplay, and takes inspiration from Green Hill and Starlight. To accompany that idea, each zone only has 2 acts, with Metropolis as the exception. Sonic CD focuses more on the platforming and exploration, with one of its main objectives being finding the Eggman machines in the past. For most people, if you don't know where to go, I will guarantee you will get puzzled or stuck in Sonic CD, and you probably won't get to experience the true way to play this game. While in Sonic 2, it's simpler and has a clear start to finish, just going from point A to point B. Sonic 2 is also overall a more balanced game, with it doing a good job of keeping the platforming of Sonic 1, while adding more speed and action, making the game more fast-paced. CD focuses on platforming and less of speedy action, which means that this point goes to Sonic 2. The mechanics. Both games have tons of separate mechanics, but this one is more obvious than the two previous ones. Sonic 2 added a whole new player with Tails, allowing for co-op, and also gave Sonic a new ability with a spin dash. This addition of Tails allowed us first to get Sky Chase, in which we fly the tornado through the level. It also added a use to the Chaos Emeralds, allowing for us to turn Supersonic if all the Chaos Emeralds are collected. Other than that, there weren't really any new things added. Special stages and new zone additions were made, but like, that's expected from a Sonic game. You're not just gonna buy Sonic 1 with different new graphics. Sonic CD, on the other hand, added a new mechanic of time traveling, which gives you 4 different versions of a level and 4 new different palettes. It also introduced the Super Pila, which is even stronger than the Spin Dash. Sonic CD also added save states and included a new mechanic of destroying Eggman machines in the past with Metal Sonic holograms that really have an impact on the end of the game, giving you a good or bad ending, depending if you destroyed or just gave up like me. Overall, this point goes to Sonic CD, as this is a more mechanically complex and filled game. The music and the tunes. This is probably the easiest category, and it goes to Sonic CD. While Sonic 2 has more tracks overall, as there are literally 4 more zones than Sonic CD, Sonic CD takes the edge, as there are both past, good, bad, future soundtracks for each zone. And mentioning soundtracks, Sonic CD also has an additional brand new soundtrack depending on the region version, which is the US and the Japanese one. Sega CD was literally built to play high quality audio through CDs compared to the Mega Drive with its audio chip, so this point goes to Sonic CD. Bosses. The big bad evils of video games are a key factor when it comes to a good game, because what's the challenge in a game if the bosses are awful? In this category, I have to go for Sonic 2, because Sonic CD bosses aren't really challenging, and some heavily rely on gimmicks like the Collision Chaos boss with a spinball or Stardust Speedway with Metal Sonic's race. Creativity wise, Sonic CD would take the cake, but in general, for bosses, Sonic 2 would win. The final bosses of each game are also vastly different, with the Death-like robot being a true final boss that puts all of your skills to the test. No rings, no nothing, all raw. While the last boss of Sonic CD is literally a PS4 D-pad, Sonic 2 wins this point. Replayability. Both games are easy to replay and have lots of bonuses to get. Sonic CD provides more of a different playstyles, as you can destroy all the Eggman machines or get all the time stones. Or you can do none of that and get mocked by the game. Sonic CD has also different Easter eggs like the infamous I'm outta here and the ancient statue and wacky workbench, which becomes Robotnik in the future. The little changes in each time period also give you a neat gameplay each run, as there are differences in level layout, mechanics, and visuals. Sonic CD also has a save feature so you can play from any point, unlike in Sonic 2 where you had to do it in one go, and considering that you need to go through 11 zones, that's no easy task for you without using external save states. Sonic 2 doesn't really have a lot of incentive to beat the game again after finishing the story as Sonic or Tails. There's literally no difference in path, and the only difference is that Tails gets a different sprite at the end. But not even a super form, so the Chaos Emeralds are practically useless for him. Sonic 2 also has no difference in ending beside the Super Sonic sprite at the end and the Eggman laughing sequence. If it had different paths like Knuckles in Sonic 3, or a Doomsday Zone like in Sonic and Knuckles, then there could have been an argument for Sonic 2 being more replayable. But this point goes to Sonic CD. Unlockables and extras. Both games have a debug mode and a level select, which is a key factor in unlockables. Sonic 2 has Super Sonic, which basically allows you to turn on creative mode, but other than that, there isn't really anything. Sonic CD, on the other hand, has a different ending cutscene if you got the time stones, and a whole bunch of different codes to get secret images like the cute artworks, DJ Sonic, Batman, new special stages, and let's insert this little code here. Oh god, what is going on here? Is that Samari? Jokes aside, Sonic CD wins this category. Visuals. While Sonic 2 has great visuals with some outstanding zones like Casino Night or Oil Ocean, this point goes to Sonic CD. Each zone in CD is filled with color, detail, and objects that make it look so vibrant and wonderful. Add the 4 different palettes and you basically get 28 unique versions of each zone. This tops Sonic 2 2.5 times in different visuals. Sonic CD also has more emotion in the sprite work and more animation put into the game, with characters like Amy and Sonic displaying it the best. Fun fact, one of CD's major flaws is that there's so much visual going on that you get lost while playing, so this point goes to Sonic CD. Last but not least, we have the value of each game. You wouldn't want to get a game that doesn't give you value for how much you spent on it, would you? Well, if you own Sonic 06, then you don't value money. But Sonic CD provides the player with 3D special stages, different level palettes and visuals, and a game with lots of secret bonuses and stuff to find when replaying. But Sonic 2 has a better package deal. You get a brand new playable character with a multiplayer option, a 2-player versus mode with 4 zones to run games through and new items, and 4 more stages compared to Sonic CD, Super Sonic, and many more. In conclusion, both games are wonderful continuations, and I encourage you to give both a try, as they each give their own experience that the other can't provide. Overall, point-wise, both games are great, but score-wise, Sonic CD wins. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is one of my first videos, and more will be coming up the way, so like, subscribe, and share. Bye bye!